I bet you didn't know. Deep beneath the bustling city, in a labyrinth of corridors and humming machinery, Dr. Alexandros Ritsos toiled tirelessly. Don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. Thanks, his lab, a testament to human ingenuity, housed his life's work, the Tower of Time.
Time is not a rigid construct, but rather a flowing river with hidden currents.
Alexandros believed in the existence of other dimensions, parallel timelines coexisting with our own. The Tower of Time, with its complex array of oscillators and chronometric resonators, was built to manipulate these currents, to open doorways to these other realms.
I yearned to step through those doorways to witness the wonders and perhaps dangers that lay beyond.
Early experiments yielded encouraging results. The Tower of Time hummed with immense power, bending the fabric of space-time around it. He sent probes through rifts in space-time, receiving glimpses of alien landscapes and distorted temporal echoes. The data he collected fueled his ambition, pushing him closer to his ultimate goal. The air crackled with anticipation as Dr. Ritsos made his final adjustments to the Tower of Time. The machine hummed around him, a symphony of scientific progress. Gauges glowed, displaying readings that danced on the edge of comprehension.
Years of meticulous research have culminated in this moment. The Tower of Time is my legacy, my gift to a world hungry for knowledge.
His heart thrummed with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Alexandros had dedicated his life to this endeavor, sacrificing personal relationships and worldly comforts in pursuit of his scientific obsession.
But what awaits on the other side?
The unknown beckoned, both alluring and terrifying. He had witnessed glimpses through the probes he sent, but nothing could prepare him for the reality of stepping through that door himself. Alexandros knew that the journey would be fraught with danger. He had taken every precaution, equipping himself with a specially designed suit that could withstand temporal anomalies and provide a lifeline back to his lab. Yet a part of him knew that he was venturing into the abyss, a realm where the rules of reality were merely suggestions. He was determined to be the first to unravel the mysteries of time, even if it meant facing the unknown alone. The moment of truth had arrived. Alexandros, clad in a specially designed chronosuit, stood within the heart of the Tower of Time. The air crackled with energy, making the hairs on his arms stand on end. He took a deep breath, his heart pounding against his ribs. He knew there was no turning back. With a final glance at his instruments, Alexandros initiated the sequence. The tower hummed and pulsed, a vortex of energy swirling around him. He braced himself as the very fabric of reality seemed to twist and contort. The world dissolved into a blinding white light.
When I could see again, I found myself standing on the threshold of another world.
He had stepped through the looking glass, leaving behind the familiar comforts of his lab. The air hung heavy and unfamiliar, thick with the scent of ozone and something ancient, something primal. He took a cautious step forward, his boots crunching on what felt like sand, but shimmered with an otherworldly luminescence.
My chronometer, it's spinning wildly as if caught in a hurricane.
Alexandros found himself in a desolate landscape unlike anything he had ever seen. Twisted metallic structures rose from the swirling sands, remnants of a long-forgotten civilization. The sky above swirled with colors he couldn't even name, hues that shifted and changed with every passing moment. Time, he realized, flowed differently here, like a river caught in a perpetual whirlpool.
The very air seems to vibrate with an unseen energy, a constant hum that resonates deep within my bones.
He cautiously explored his surroundings, his chronometer still spinning uselessly. The silence was broken only by the mournful howl of the wind, a sound that seemed to whisper of forgotten ages and lost civilizations. As he ventured deeper into this alien world, he began to notice strange temporal anomalies. Moments seemed to repeat themselves, only to diverge in subtle and unsettling ways.
I am surrounded by echoes of the past and glimpses of the future, all blending together in a disorienting kaleidoscope.
As Alexandros rounded a towering metallic structure, he came face to face with the most extraordinary being he had ever seen. It was humanoid in form, but its skin shimmered like polished obsidian, and its eyes glowed with an internal light. It stood motionless, its gaze fixed on Alexandros with an intensity that sent shivers down his spine.
This is no ordinary inhabitant of this strange dimension.
This was something more, something ancient and powerful. He had stumbled upon the guardian of this lost world. The being spoke, its voice a deep, resonating hum that seemed to bypass his ears and vibrate directly within his skull.
Time is not a river to be navigated, but a tapestry to be respected. Each thread represents a moment, a possibility. To tamper with one thread is to risk unraveling the entire fabric of existence.
The Guardian's words struck a chord deep within Alexandros. He had spent his life pursuing knowledge, unraveling the mysteries of the universe. But what good was knowledge if it came at the cost of unraveling the very fabric of existence? He looked around at the desolate landscape, at the remnants of a once great civilization. Was this the fate of all who dared to tamper with time? He thought of the temporal anomalies he had witnessed, the shadows that moved with an unnatural life of their own. Were they a symptom of this unraveling, a glimpse of the chaos that awaited if he continued down this path? The Guardian, sensing Alexandros' growing unease, placed a hand on his shoulder. The touch sent a jolt of energy through him, a strange mixture of warmth and warning. He had thought himself a master of time, but now he realized he was nothing more than a reckless apprentice, dabbling in forces he barely understood.
Armed with newfound resolve, Alexandros turned to face the encroaching shadows. He knew that escape would not be easy. They were drawn to him, to the disruption he represented, and they would stop at nothing to prevent him from closing the rift.
He activated his chronosuit, its energy field shimmering to life. The suit crackled with temporal energy, a beacon in the encroaching darkness. The shadows recoiled at his touch, their forms hissing and spitting as they circled him, searching for a weakness in his defenses.
He had to reach the rift, had to close it before the shadows overwhelmed him, but they were relentless, their numbers seemingly endless. They swarmed around him, their intangible claws raking at his energy shield, testing its limits.
Alexandros fought back, his scientific mind analyzing their movements, seeking a weakness. He realized that the shadows were drawn to his fear, his doubt. They fed on his uncertainty, growing stronger with every moment he hesitated.
He took a deep breath, calming his racing heart. He couldn't afford to panic. He had to focus, had to believe in himself, in his ability to right this wrong. With newfound clarity, Alexandros pushed forward, his chronosuit blazing with defiance. He wove through the shadows, his movements becoming more fluid, more confident. He had to reach the rift, had to close it before the shadows consumed him, and this reality unraveled entirely.
The air crackled with energy as the shadows pressed in, their forms shifting and contorting, trying to break through his defenses. He could feel their cold touch against his energy shield, a constant reminder of the stakes. But he wouldn't be deterred.
His chronometer, once spinning wildly, now pulsed with a steady rhythm, guiding him towards his destination. The Guardian's words echoed in his mind, a constant reminder of the delicate balance he had disrupted. He had to restore that balance, had to repair the fabric of time before it was too late.
The rift loomed before him, a gaping maw of chaos, threatening to consume everything in its path. Alexandros reached the rift, his heart pounding in his chest. The air crackled with raw energy, threatening to tear him apart. He could feel the shadows closing in, their cold embrace tightening around him. But he wouldn't let them win. He had come too far, sacrificed too much.
He raised his hands, focusing his will, his very essence, into the chronometer. The device hummed with power, its energy resonating with the chaotic energy of the rift. He could feel the fabric of reality straining at its seams, the very essence of time threatening to unravel.
With a final surge of effort, Alexandros activated the chronometer. A wave of energy erupted from the device, a shockwave of temporal force that slammed into the rift. The shadows shrieked in anger and frustration as the rift began to close, their grip on this reality weakening with every passing second.
Alexandros held his ground, pouring every ounce of his strength, his very will to live, into the chronometer.
Silence descended upon the desolate landscape. The swirling colors of the sky faded, replaced by a dull, lifeless gray. Alexandros collapsed to his knees, his chronosuit flickering and dying. He had done it. He had closed the rift, repaired the damage he had caused. But the victory felt hollow. He had witnessed the fragility of time, and it had changed him forever.
He looked down at the chronometer, now deactivated, silent in his hand. It was a reminder of his ambition, his hubris, but also of his ingenuity, his capacity for good.
He had been granted a rare glimpse behind the curtain of reality. He had learned a valuable lesson that time was not a tool to be manipulated, but a force to be respected. Alexandros made a silent vow. He would use his knowledge to protect the sanctity of time, not to exploit it.